212.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we want to bring forth to the stage a very special guest, the undisputed.
Nah, son, baby. And this is another episode.
Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing.
And this is your host. Nah, son, baby. Here we go. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, Nah, son, baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. And I'm with Azriel, aka the Rope God, aka the Rope Lord, aka the Rope King. See, he wants to be modest, but nah, we not gonna be modest. You know, we're not gonna be humble because only slaves are humble. You feel me? We gonna talk that shit. So, you know, listen, I could hardly tie a fucking shoe. But in BDSM, you know, he could do all types of knots and shit on some Boy Scout shit. You know what I'm saying? He could tie like knots, and it's like aesthetically pleasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not think it's aesthetically pleasing, but me, it's on point. You know what I'm saying? Because I can hardly tie a fucking tie. But it's like, first and foremost, Azriel. Wait, first of all, break down your name, because it's like Hebrew. Break down your name, because a lot of people don't have that name, Azriel. So break down the meaning of the Hebrew name Azriel before we get it cracking.
Okay, how you doing, Wavy? Like you said, my name is Azriel. It means God's help. Azriel was an angel. Not a fallen angel, but he's actually known to be the angel of death. I mean, you might have heard him if you watch Lucifer or what is that? I forget the movie's name, but you probably seen it before with Chris Rock in it. He was a fallen angel, but anyway, yeah, my aunt gave it to me. I love the name. That's about it as far as my name is concerned. It's a powerful name. I mean, at one time a Jewish guy on my job told me, don't let people shorten your name. You got a beautiful name. It's a very powerful name. And he got mad at me because people couldn't pronounce it. And I'd be like, God, just call me Oz. And he's like, yo, don't ever let nobody call you that. And since then, I just stopped letting people call me that. My name is Azriel. And that's that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got the knowledge out the way. So we want to get down to the nitty gritty. First and foremost, do BDSM get you a lot of pussy? Because, you know, you know what I'm saying? You're a nice looking brother. You know, you got muscles, you well built, and you have a following. So do you have, like, listen, a lot of people don't think that I get groupies because I'm a writer. So as a BDSM practitioner, as a dom, do you have like a lot of admirers? Keep it 100. Wait. We don't do this modest thing on my podcast.
I'm 100. I have a lot of followers and admirers. But because I'm an introvert and I'm pretty to myself a lot, people don't approach me as often as people think they do. But when I am approached, yeah, you know, things are pretty good for me.
See, you gotta excuse Azriel. You know, he's modest. You know, he's a laid back brother. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to take what he says as a grain of salt. You feel me? So how did you get into BDSM, and especially the rope? Because you're known as being a tactician of like suspending people from a rope. Like I said, I can't fucking tie a shoelace. So how can I leave my Timbs unlaced? You feel me? So how did you learn how to properly rope people as a dom and suspend people from women, particularly from the ceiling?
It started like 20 something years ago, and I like in the beginning of the internet, Yahoo days, I came across you know, searching on porn sites. I came across it and it was like, wow, I seen somebody tie somebody up, and I just got curious ever since then. And I just started doing a little research and things of that nature. Back then, I went to a few munches, but it was a little too much for me. I wasn't ready for what I seen.
Tell people what's a munch.
A munch is like a meet and greet for BDSM practitioners, where you go meet people. And sometimes they have activities where they display what they do. Yeah, just a meet and greet for people who are in the BDSM. You come out, you meet people, and get to see what's going on. And sometimes you follow them to their dungeon or to a house, and things may escalate there. But like I said, when I went there, certain things I wasn't ready for at that time, you know, being a younger person. So it was like, I kind of shied away for it. So I like went home and started getting books and stuff, and doing my research to learn the practical side of it, like how to do it, because I was attracted to the aesthetics of it, the look. So that's how it started for me. Then as it grew, I fell more into the BDSM side of it, the controlling, the pushing the limits of people and seeing like how far and the response that I would get from it. Like I said, and I just grew. I'm actually like still on a journey. I'm still growing, and I've been doing this for over 12 years.
So, when you first wrote the chick, did like she like bump her head on the floor? Because a lot of dudes, they be burning motherfuckers. They do like the fire play. They be burning chicks and they do the knife play, and they be like stabbing motherfuckers. So did you have to go through like your trial and error? Did you, like you try to rope her and then she like fell on her head, and then like how did you perfect your craft?
Well, it was a constant battle, but I learned practically first anyway, and it's processes to it. You don't just jump out there and say, okay, I want to race the big dog and stuff. You don't just start racing and jump in a fucking power car. You start off with a go-kart, you know what I mean? Learn to handle it, learn to get a feel, learn to get comfortable with the road and the movement of it, the G-forces, and as you progress, you start to take bigger risks. But you learn the safety end of it all. You start to learn, okay, you can't cross nerves, muscle damage, nerve damage, the tingling sensations that people get in their arms. You have to be careful no matter what it is that you do. Knife play, fire play, because it's a problem. You got to try it on yourself first.
See, that's why I fucks with you, because I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, how you going to know somebody's threshold when you don't even know your own threshold? So how do you practice on yourself?
Well, when you put the rope on yourself, you're going to test the tightness, because now your arms are moving, your body frame is different. So being that your arms are up and you tied a certain way, and then you realize when you put your arms down as a man, you got wings and stuff, our lats flare out and stuff when you put your arm, and the rope gets a little more constricted. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, now that's too tight. So you learn as far as when you're dealing with the next person's body, the position they're in and how long that rope would stay there, and if they move, how the body slims up and then thickens out at certain points. So you pay a lot of attention and have a lot of patience.
So who first of all, do you currently have subs and slaves or brats?
Yes, I do. I have rope bunny and I have a sub.
So what is the difference? Excuse me, this fucking vodka is hitting. So what's the difference between a rope bunny and a sub?
A rope bunny is somebody who bottoms for me, but is not.
Wait. What is a bottom?
A bottom is somebody that receives the service that I give, that I put out. Being that I'm a dominant, I'm a top. I'm pretty much in control. I'm doing things, and she bottoms out for me, but she's not subbing for me. She doesn't necessarily cater to me. She can go out and do.
So she's like an assistant. Sort
of, yes, an assistant, a model. That exactly.
So she's on her Vanna White shit.
Yes, exactly. Turn some letters around for me.
Gonna go from BDSM into XEX. Ow. So what about a sub? So you broke down the rope bunny. So what about a sub?
A sub is submissive to me. She allows me certain privileges over her, certain control over her. We don't do it all the time. This would make her submissive. She submits to me in my presence, in our presence. She gives me that authoritative role in her life.
So how do you vet your sub, slaves, or rope bunnies? Because a lot of these chicks, they bugged out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these chicks, they crazy as batshit. So how do you vet the women that you choose to be in your circle?
I'm a natural vet. A lot of people ask a lot of questions. I like to spend time around people and just feel the vibe and see how they do. You let them, the old saying, you give a person a little bit of rope and watch them hang themselves. So you get them around them, let them feel free. The more they feel comfortable enough around you, the more they want to release their energy. And when they start to feel too comfortable, you know how that go.
So, like, let's say if a chick is unhinged, how do you rectify the situation? Like, she goes crazy, this, then, the third. How would you rectify the situation instead of being messy? You feel me? Because a lot of people nowadays, instead of having a conversation, they want to go on social media. Because we're in an era where if you break up or if you get into a situation with somebody, the first thing that you want to do is go on social media. Like during my breakup, she went on social media and told everybody we broke up. I'm like, why would you do that? It's not anybody's business. It's like, I'm private. You feel me? So I really didn't want people to know that we were in a relationship.
I think for me, that's just a character. That's just always been my character. I'm not for everybody. I'm not with everybody. I don't have anybody to impress. So I don't go to social media to air out my stuff. I don't like people who do that. And once you do that, it's like, okay, go ahead. You can date them and you can deal with them. Because I don't do that. They're not our therapists. They don't have nothing to do with it. If people want to take sides and things, you just leave those people alone. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you. I gotta go now. Now, if you want to negotiate and talk about it and work it out, that's something different. Now, but then how do you do that when people just show their colors? This is who you are. I didn't force you. I didn't do anything to you to do this. This is just how you respond to situations. What am I going to do if you haven't figured this one out for yourself in all of this time? You know, I'm 52 years old.
Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, this brother is 52 years old, but he's going on fucking 35. You feel me? He doesn't look like he's 52 years old. So anyway, keep going.
So, you know, certain games you just don't, hey, I don't have time to play with you. My fun is not you wasting my time. So I gotta go. If you want to do this, this is consensual. This is meaning that you're an adult and you understand the limits that you have and the limits that you're getting ready to relinquish or try to figure out. And we're gonna work together to get there.
So break down BDSM poly. You know, you have the BDSM, of course. You may have your sub, but how would you incorporate the poly aspect into BDSM?
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on, Azriel. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say poly, I mean polyamory. So how would you incorporate polyamory into BDSM?
Well, how do I explain that? That's a hard one to explain.
Get them the fucking abridged version.
Well, I was poly before I became involved in BDSM. I was poly before I knew I was poly. I pretty much came into the lifestyle because of it, because of my appetite for different variety, and you know, without having the drama. But as you see, lifestyle doesn't really eliminate that because people have false ideas of what the lifestyle is.
They think it's this. They think the lifestyle is this utopia.
Yeah, and it's not, you know, if you don't get into somebody's head and see what it is that they're looking for. Oh, I'm temporary. I'm bisexual only when I'm not dating people. When I'm dating somebody, I don't do this and I don't do that. It's so many rules and hidden agendas behind it. So you gotta back off every now and then and see where it is that you're at as you grow and figure out who you are. Because you start to experience the things that you've never experienced before. You don't know how you're going to react to them. So as you start to learn your reaction and what you can tolerate and can't tolerate, you start to adjust.
So do you have different rules for your subs and your rope bunnies? It's like what rules that you set forth in the beginning? Because I'm a firm believer you got to nip things in the bud before they snowfall, and then it comes to a place where you don't want it to go.
Well, I don't come with rules and regulations. I allow people to be themselves, and then as I see who they are, I make an assessment to say, can I deal with you or not? Now, like I said, sometimes we have people with different agendas. They show their representatives. So as they start to reveal their true selves, as the more they get comfortable with you, you take in and say, okay, this is not what I'm going to do. I quickly create a boundary with that. If you do this is, no, I don't do that. We're not going to tolerate that. Oh, well, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. I'm not forcing you to be here. I'm not asking or begging you to be here. It's a pleasure enjoying you and experiencing you, but now it's time to go because you want something else that I don't want. A lot of times you meet resistance, but it is what it is.
So is there ever a time where you feel like you're handcuffed? Like, a chick want to play you close, and it's like, yo, mine. It's like, you could do your thing, and I could do my thing. Is there a time that you have to put things in its proper perspective?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a human being. I'm an empath. I feel things too. I generally, I've never been a person that just likes to abuse my I don't know what you call it. The
your authority or your status.
Exactly. Yeah. So to just be out here just smashing everybody and just leaving them and just like, yo, fuck you, I smashed and I'm good. No, I'm gonna treat you with respect. You still a woman at the end of the day. You somebody's sister, somebody's mother, somebody's man, woman sometimes, and I respect you for that. What we do, I respect what we do too. This is our thing, that we do. I don't do it with intentions of disrespecting somebody like most people do. I don't invite women to my dick as a sign of anger, because to me it's always been a sign of pleasure.
So what do you think about when people say that BDSM is a way for dudes to get more pussy? What do you think about that misconception that people have of doms?
Well, for a lot of people, they use a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I just want to learn how to play basketball so I can be good to get women. A lot of people use whatever they can to get whatever they can. Most men use money. So a lot of people are guilty of it, but that's not my thing. I enjoy a lot of aspects of it. Like I said, I'm still growing. Even though I've been in it as long as I am, I'm pretty reserved. I take stages. I don't rush and try to engulf everything. Plus, like I said before, I wasn't ready for everything. So I have to take things in small pieces and see what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not comfortable with. Take what I can and leave what I don't like without judging. Like, oh, wow, you do that. That's, hey, I'm not there yet. Maybe see you later. I'm going to go. But I like what you're doing and keep it moving.
So how's like being like a hot commodity? Because a lot of people cannot do rope play. You know what I'm saying? And from what I've seen, you're a master of your craft. I get it. You want to be the modest role. You want to play the modest role, humble role. Fuck that. Listen, when I'm a writer, I'm better than Shakespeare, goddammit. So, you know what I'm saying? But with you like, yeah, I'm doing my thing, but that's an asset to be able to rope play.
Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? I ego stroke sometimes, but that's for me. I don't bring it out there. I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. I'm not the best. I'm just good. And I'm gonna get better. Most definitely. I like to associate myself with people that are better than me. Surround myself. I don't want to be the best in the room because then my head gets cloudy.
See, that's why I fucks with you, because I'm like, yo, I'm nervous when I'm the smartest and the richest person in the room, because I'm going to learn from you when I got everything.
Exactly. So that makes you standoffish and you don't want to be around people. What are you going to tell me? So I want to be around people that give me that childlike curiosity. That I want to know something. I want to know where you come from. What is it? What makes you tick? What is that thing that gives you that energy that you have?
So let's say a young buck, he's into BDSM, he wants to do the rope play. How would you want somebody to approach you? You're a master, the proverbial master. How would you want a newbie to approach you? And then you look at him, you say to yourself, okay, I could teach him. Or you look at him and say, yo, him or her, and say, yo, he or she is full of shit. How did you choose whether this person is teachable?
Well, I also do personal training and things of that nature too. When you give somebody information, it's on how they respond to you. If they're gonna come to you and look and seek it out. When you say, I want to learn, you chase somebody down. Listen, I want to know what you know. If you come to me and say, I want to know, and I give you a task, and you come back to me a month later and say, nah, I didn't do it yet or anything like that, why should I put more energy into you when you didn't put energy into yourself?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what they say, when the student is ready, the master will appear. You feel me? So, what was you going to say?
So you make yourself available for them. You give them a little jewel. You sit back, see what they do with it, and be like, yo, when you're ready, I'm here. That's all you can do with anybody.
So do you see like a change? Wait, you were into BDSM before 50 Shades of Grey, right?
Way before 50
So it's crazy because I was dealing with this chick who was a dominatrix. She was a lot older than me, but she never came at me on some, I want you to be my sub or slave or whatever case may be. We were just fucking. But she had a madam and she would work in a dungeon. So back in the day, it was discreet. I didn't know what the fuck a dominatrix was. She had explained to me what a dominatrix was. It was like back in 2006, 2007, before I was writing books. But now it's like every month there's a new dom and sub because they're tired of swinging, so they cross over from swinging to BDSM and they're not properly vetted or properly taught. So what do you think about the crossover from swinging to BDSM?
Wow. For me, it was kind of like just a natural flow. It's like pretty much everything else you get introduced through women.
Because everybody got a house.
Exactly. Well, I don't have a house yet. I'm not really trying to build a house like that yet. I'm involved with somebody else's house.
Shit. A lot of people don't have a house. They have a fucking motel. They got a fucking tenement. They got a fucking shelter. Anyway, keep going.
Really understand.
You didn't hear that from me though.
Not that. But
my views don't reflect Azriel. It's just me talking shit.
Anyway. I got you. But it's all about growth, personal growth with other people, getting to know people, observing people, seeing the way they respond to you. It's a give and take. Being an alpha male generally, walking the street, commanding confidence and showing that, exuding that to other people, it brings about a certain desire from you when you walk into a room. Women don't look at you and say, oh, yo, I want to bend him over and smack his ass. Women look at me and say, damn, I want him to just touch me this way. When other men, they look at it and be like, yo, I want to do this to him. It's the difference, and when you get that, when you learn that you have that, you work with it. Who was it? Bishop Don Juan.
Yeah, Don Magic Juan. Bishop Don Magic Juan, my Chicago brethren.
I remember his interview when he was doing, they interviewed him. He did they had a little, I don't know what you call that, a special about him. And he was like, yo, one day I just realized that these women like me. He said, mama, these women like me so much, they give me things. He said, I'm going to do something with this. And he went with it, which was pimping.
Ladies and gentlemen, pimping is not the same thing as BDSM. I just want to get it out there for the soul motherfuckers. Anyway, keep it going.
Not at all. Totally different.
He's just making an analogy, ladies and gentlemen.
When you find out that you have a certain talent or you have something that people want from you, you either learn how to use it or you abuse it. I learned how to use it.
So it's like I said before, it's like you're a hot commodity and a lot of people don't know how to do the role play. When did you start to fall in love with the rope? Wait. First and foremost, why did you choose the rope play? Because people got specialties. What is your specialty? Because, not what I know what's your specialty is the rope. How did you choose that specialty instead of the knife play, the fire play, the flogging, whatever the case may be?
Because with rope is a little more creative. Rope is a little more, very much more creative on that side. The look of it, how you're going to tie somebody, where you're going to tie somebody. It's more imaginative. I can bring my playground to life, Then it's artistic because the angles, the looks, the body shape, the way it hangs, the way it accents. It's just so much going on there for me when I put it on, and then it's meditative for me because it's like your hobby. Doing your hobby to calm you down. So once I start putting it on somebody, I go into another zone. They become just a mannequin to me. I don't see them as a person. They're my canvas, and I start putting things on them from what I see. The canvas, you're the canvas and the vision itself. You're the object that I'm looking at to paint.
So do you get a lot of jealousy and envy in the BDSM community?
I don't know yet because I'm not out and about and I don't really look for it, but I'm quite sure it's out there.
Because I'm not going to front. A lot of people can't do what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that because you're in front of me. I told you earlier, like, that shit is not easy, especially when you have somebody to trust in you. You have a woman who's not even your woman, but she trusts that you can suspend her in the air and she's not going to fall and bust her ass. So how do you assure a woman that she's safe in your hands? Because a lot of motherfuckers are perpetrating a fraud and they ain't shit. So how do you build that trust?
I think it's just the energy that they feel from me most of the time, because no matter what, we can talk. I don't do a lot of talking. It's like, yo, I know what I do. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain certain things, but to really convince you that you're not going to fall, I can't really do that. I don't feel as though I can, but I can tell you what I'm using. I can let you know that I know what I'm doing, and that the rest is up to you. And they put it in me because a lot of times they see other people that I work with. Okay, I see you consistently doing this.
So how did you find out about the BDSM community? Because I know you were doing role play before you knew of a community. And how was it like when you was like, damn, it's people doing the same shit that I'm doing? How did you stumble across like-minded people? So you wouldn't feel like an outcast, because it's not notorious for black people to do BDSM.
I'm sorry, Wavy, but I didn't know it before I seen the community. I'm come from the time of dial-up, the internet, and I seen it on the internet, and it fascinated me. And I came at it from an artistic viewpoint. I like the way the rope looked. I'm pretty creative. I like to play with my hands and do a lot of things, and that attracted me. And at that time, the only way to know about it was to go to where they were doing it. But when I went there, it was a lot of things going on that I wasn't ready for.
So what was those things? You got to break it down. What was those things?
Sexual things that you're not ready for. At that time, I'm a young black man. I'm not ready for pansexualism. I wasn't ready for a whole lot of things, to see a whole lot of things. People getting cut, people scat play. Oh, it was just a lot of things going on that at that time I couldn't grasp on. So I went and took a few things from there, asked a few questions, took that and started doing a little research and started playing around on the back end of it, until I found a community that looked like me.
You know what they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? So how did it get to the point where you could do a whole dungeon? It's like a damn warehouse full of exhibitions, and it doesn't faze you, as opposed to you first coming into BDSM. And you're like, damn, are they really doing that? How did you get to that point?
Wow. I guess that's the people around me that helped me with my confidence as I was practicing and learning. People pushed me to say, yo, this is nice. You know what you're doing. And you get somewhat complacent with, okay, I've studied, I've done my homework, I'm doing this, and it's working for me. I don't have to study. It's like doing a job. When you first come on a job, you don't know what you're doing. You get trained. You're still a little nervous when the boss come around, but you do what you do. And after a while, people say to you, okay, you're doing a great job. And you're like, oh, really? All right, cool, boom. And then you get comfortable with it, and you just do. And try to progress. I know everybody doesn't do it, but I want to try to progress all the time. It's always a learning experience. I never know everything, and it's always new things, just like technology.
So how do you build a buzz in the BDSM community where everybody knows you, and you may have people who want to have a session with you? How did you get the name out there? Because you're like laid back, you like laid back, unassuming. You got like a mystique. You feel me? It's like you're a man of few words. So how do you get your name out there to where people know that you're the rope king, the rope god, the rope lord? You feel me?
Well, at the time, somebody I was having relationships with had told me they thought I need to express myself outwards and do things. They used to throw parties and things like that. And it was like, you should do this. You should let people know. And I thought about it for a minute. And I said, fuck it. Let me do it. But unfortunately, me and her, we didn't last long. And I met somebody else that pretty much came to me and seen what I did and was like, wow, I think you should do this. And she helped me out. And she introduced me to somebody else who then in turn happened to catapult me someplace else. And things just start happening.
So it's pretty much like a community. You're only as strong as your team. There's no I in team. You pretty much need a team around you.
Well, when you get people that believe in you and you have enough confidence and they tell you, yo, hey, do this and do that, it's like, okay, let me see. And, you allow people to push you into certain things if you feel it's good for you.
Okay, so what advice would you give, like, newbie doms, newbie BDSM people who wants to get into BDSM? They have an interest into BDSM. What advice, suggestions would you give them?
Make connections, study, read, Be ready for change and growth. Patience.
And you know what they say, patience is a bitter tree whose fruits are sweet. Ow. And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Son, baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com. And check out my ebook, Fuck. Yes, you heard right. F-U-C-K, Fuck. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. It'll make you say, na-na, ow. And shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. And hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace. You know.